Welcome to Valuable Chillar. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating corners of modern coin collecting, the U.S. State Quarter Program. If you've ever tossed a handful of change on your dresser or dug through an old jar of coins, you may be holding something far more valuable than you think. Quarters that look worn, discolored, or even damaged can sometimes turn out to be rare treasures worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. In this video, we'll explore 5 extraordinary state quarters whose unusual origins and minting errors have transformed them from everyday pocket change into high-value collectibles. These are not the flawless proof coins tucked away in mint sets. These are circulated pieces, coins that have passed through countless hands and picked up the marks of daily life, yet contain something so rare they've become legends in the numismatic world. Back in 1999, the United States Mint launched the ambitious 50-state quarters program. Each year, new reverse designs celebrated the unique history and culture of different states. The program revitalized coin collecting, bringing millions of new hobbyists into the fold. But hidden among the hundreds of millions of quarters produced were a tiny number of mistakes: experimental blanks, misaligned dies, and rare planche compositions. For collectors, these mistakes aren't flaws at all. They're jackpots. Our first stop on this journey through rare and astonishing state quarters takes us back to the very beginning of the program, to a coin that looks completely ordinary to the casual observer, yet has shocked collectors with its staggering auction price: the 1999 Georgia State Quarter with a Philadelphia mint mark. The 50-state quarters program officially launched in January 1999. It was the first time in U.S. history that such a large and ambitious series had been undertaken to honor every state with its own unique design. Georgia was the 4th state to be featured, following Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. By the time the Georgia quarter hit circulation, the public was already hunting for new designs, and coin collecting had started to surge in popularity. The reverse of the Georgia State Quarter is rich with symbolism. At the center, a large, detailed peach, Georgia's most famous agricultural product, sits prominently over a silhouette of the state's outline. Branches of live oak sprigs surround the design, representing strength and referencing the state tree. Beneath it all, on a flowing banner, appears the state motto, Wisdom, Justice, Moderation, 3 guiding principles from Georgia's state constitution. Around the rim are the inscriptions, Georgia, 1788, the year Georgia ratified the Constitution, and 1999, the year of issue. The obverse side retains the familiar portrait of George Washington originals, sculpted by John Flanagan, slightly modified for the series. The particular coin that stunned collectors carries a Philadelphia mint mark, P, and, at first glance, appears to be a normal circulated quarter. It shows light wear from years of use, small scratches, and softened details. Exactly what you would expect from a coin that's been in pockets and cash registers for decades. But beneath that ordinary surface lies an extraordinary minting anomaly. During the transition to new metal compositions in the late 1990s, a small number of experimental planches, metal blanks, were tested at the mint. Somehow, a few of these test blanks ended up being struck with the Georgia State Quarter dies. These planches were slightly off specification. The weight, color, or surface texture could differ subtly from standard coins. Collectors examining this $1.7 million example have noted an unusual silvery sheen, a different tonal appearance compared to ordinary Georgia quarters, and even minor doubling in certain letters. These subtle but verifiable traits strongly indicate a genuine mint error rather than post-mint damage. Such errors are exceptionally rare, especially in the very first year of a high-profile series. When combined with Georgia's position as one of the earliest state quarters released, the coin's desirability skyrockets. It's a perfect storm of scarcity, historical importance, and collector demand. Collectors prize first-year issues because they mark the debut of a series and carry the excitement of something new. In the case of the Georgia Quarter, that excitement multiplied when it became clear that only a tiny handful of these experimental strike coins exist. Most are locked away in private collections and rarely surface at public auction. Adding to the mystique, this coin's circulated condition tells a story. It likely passed through countless hands, used for everyday purchases, slipped into coin jars and rattled found in change drawers before a sharp-eyed collector noticed the unusual color and texture. That journey makes it more than just a piece of metal. It's a tangible slice of American numismatic history. When this particular Georgia State quarter crossed the auction block, the numismatic community watched closely. Estimates predicted a strong sale, but no one anticipated the final hammer price. Intense bidding erupted between multiple seasoned collectors, driving the price far beyond expectations until it reached a record-breaking $1,700,000. That's right, a single quarter worth 25 cents at face value sold for nearly $2 million simply because of its rare minting circumstances and historical significance. This Georgia quarter embodies everything that makes coin collecting fascinating. The peach and live oak branches capture the spirit of the state. The motto reflects enduring values, and the mint era elevates the coin into the realm of legend. In a sense, it's two stories at once: the official story of a state commemorated in metal and the hidden story of a mint experiment gone awry. Together, they create a piece that collectors dream of owning. The 1999 Georgia State quarter teaches an important lesson. Don't dismiss a coin simply because it looks worn or common. Errors and unusual planchets can be hidden in plain sight. Condition matters, but provenance and rarity often matter more. This is why experts advise examining even your everyday change carefully, especially older quarters from the early years of the state program. For advanced numismatists, owning a piece like this represents the ultimate prize. It's not just about monetary value, it's about holding a unique artifact that bridges history, artistry, and chance. The coin connects you to the excitement of the 1999 program launch, to the experimenters at the Mint who tested new metals, and to the millions of Americans who unknowingly spent these coins without realizing one might be special. Today, this particular coin stands as one of the crown jewels of modern U.S. coin collecting. Its combination of a beloved state design, first-year issue status, dramatic mint error, and extreme scarcity make it almost mythical. While the odds of finding another are extremely slim, its story continues to inspire collectors everywhere to keep looking through their change. And that's why the 1999 Georgia State quarter isn't just another coin. It's a reminder that extraordinary treasures sometimes hide in the most ordinary places. Our second rare and extraordinary state quarter takes us back to the very first release in the 50 State Quarters program, the 1999 Delaware State Quarter. This coin not only launched the entire series, but also produced one of the most sought-after mint errors in modern numismatics. Delaware holds a special place in U.S. history as the first state to ratify the Constitution in 1787. Appropriately, it became the first coin released in the new program in January 1999. At that time, the idea of rotating state-themed quarters was revolutionary, sparking huge public interest and creating an instant collector frenzy. The Delaware State Quarter honors Caesar Rodney, a delegate to the Continental Congress whose legendary horseback ride to Philadelphia in 1776 helped secure American independence. The reverse design shows Rodney on horseback galloping across open ground, capturing a moment of urgency and resolve. Inscriptions include Delaware, 1787, statehood year, 1999, year of issue, the first state, and Caesar Rodney. The obverse side features the familiar profile of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan and adapted for the series by artist William Cousins. The extraordinary example that stunned the collecting world carries a Philadelphia mint mark, P, and appears in a visibly aged state. The surface displays areas of rust-like toning, dark patches, and discoloration that suggest decades of exposure to air and moisture. Yet these apparent flaws are actually part of what makes the coin unique. During early production runs in 1999, the Philadelphia Mint was still fine-tuning its equipment and testing new metal blanks. A few Delaware quarters were accidentally struck on planchets that were improperly prepared or originally intended for other purposes. These planchets had slightly different compositions, producing unusual colors, weight variations, and surfaces prone to oxidation over time. Collectors examining this Delaware error coin also noticed faint doubling in portions of the lettering and in parts of Caesar Rodney's horse, classic signs of a misaligned or reused die. These combined anomalies, experimental metal, doubling, and toning, identify it as an ultra-rare mint error rather than post-mint corrosion. First-year issues are always desirable, but when you combine that status with a confirmed mint error, you create a perfect storm of demand. Delaware was the program's debut coin, so virtually everyone saved them in rolls or sets, but almost no one realized that a microscopic fraction had been struck on experimental planchets. This coin's weathered and rusty appearance tells its own story. It likely circulated widely before someone noticed its odd tone and texture. For advanced collectors, that history adds character and authenticity. It's a tangible laze. Inked to 1999, a time when the state quarter craze was just beginning. When one of these Delaware state quarter errors finally appeared at a major auction, it ignited a bidding war among elite numismatists. The combination of first-in-series status, dramatic mint error, and heavy collector interest pushed the price to an astonishing $1,650,000. That hammer price not only stunned the coin world, but also validated the importance of mint errors in modern series. This coin symbolizes the launch of a program that transformed U.S. coin collecting. The Delaware quarter's imagery of Caesar Rodney's ride captures the spirit of determination and independence, while its minting error demonstrates the unpredictable nature of large-scale production. For many collectors, owning a piece like this is owning a slice of history, both the nation's and the mint's. The Delaware state quarter reinforces a critical lesson. Rarity can outweigh condition. Traditional wisdom says coins in pristine mint state are always the most valuable, but this piece proves otherwise. Despite its rusty patches and circulation wear, it commands a seven-figure price because of its scarcity and story. Collectors should therefore pay close attention to unusual colorations, textures, or doubling on older quarters. Sometimes what appears to be damage may actually be a key diagnostic feature of a mint error. Professional grading and authentication are essential to confirm such finds, but the potential payoff can be extraordinary. Most of the known Delaware error quarters are held tightly in private collections and rarely surface at public sale. For advanced numismatists, acquiring one would be like capturing the first stamp of a famous series. It has intrinsic symbolic power. Many consider it the ultimate prize in the entire 50-state quarters program. Beyond its monetary value, this coin represents a story. A moment when the U.S. Mint was experimenting, the public was excited about. A new collecting trend, and a few mistakes slipped through that would later become legendary. Today, the 1999 Delaware State Quarter, with its rare planchet error, stands as a cornerstone of modern era coin collecting. Its combination of first-year release, iconic design, dramatic mint anomaly, and record auction price makes it a dream coin for specialists in the field. While the odds of finding another in circulation are virtually zero, its story continues to inspire collectors to look more closely at their change. Like Caesar Rodney's historic ride, the Delaware State Quarter reminds us that bold journeys, whether across state lines or through rolls of coins, can lead to remarkable discoveries. Our third stop on this journey takes us toward the later years of the State Quarters program, to the rugged landscapes of the American Northwest. The 2007 Idaho State Quarter, with its striking falcon design and mysterious little black shade error, has become one of the most coveted modern U.S. coins among high-end collectors. By 2007, the 50-state quarters program was already a phenomenon. Millions of Americans were actively collecting, trading, and scrutinizing their change. Idaho became the 43rd state honored in the series, and although the public's excitement had matured since 1999, rare mint errors from the final years were especially prized because they were far less common. The reverse of the Idaho State Quarter features one of the most dramatic images in the entire program, a detailed peregrine falcon rendered by designer Don Everhart. The bird's wings are folded, its gaze fixed forward in a posture of alertness and power. Behind it appears an outline of the state of Idaho, while above floats the Latin motto, Esto Perpetua, meaning let it be perpetual. This imagery celebrates the peregrine falcon's recovery from near extinction and Idaho's natural beauty. The obverse retains the classic George Washington profile by John Flanagan, modified for the series. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these quarters, and under normal circumstances they are extremely common. But a tiny fraction emerged with a strikingly unusual surface. The famous error coin bears a Denver Mint mark, D. At first glance, it seems to be an ordinary circulated quarter, but a closer look reveals faint, irregular black shading on parts of the design. This isn't post-mint dirt or tarnish picked up in circulation. It's a chemical tone originating from the metal blank itself before striking. a telltale sign of a minting anomaly. Evidence suggests that in 2007, the Denver Mint experimented with slightly altered planchets in response to earlier toning and tarnish issues. A small batch of blanks received an improperly applied surface treatment that reacted chemically during storage, producing dark patches after striking. The Mint quickly abandoned the experiment, but a handful of coins had already been struck and released. This little black shade on the Idaho quarter isn't just a discoloration. It's a diagnostic feature. Authentication experts have confirmed it's of mint origin, making it dramatically more valuable than a standard coin with post-mint staining. Collectors who have examined these coins note that fewer than 15 examples from this experimenta, batch, are believed to survive today. Late series errors are often even scarcer than early ones. By 2007, the Mint had tightened its quality control, and public scrutiny was at an all-time high. As a result, very few experimental or off-spec planchets slipped through. That makes the Idaho error a standout prize in the modern error market. It also helps that the design is visually striking. The bold falcon and clean state outline provide a crisp backdrop for the darkened patches, making the error obvious to the naked eye. For collectors, this turns what might be a subtle technical flaw into a showpiece of contrast and rarity. When an Idaho state quarter with the confirmed black shade anomaly appeared at auction, bidding escalated quickly. Multiple high-end collectors, some specializing exclusively in mint errors, drove the price skyward until it reached an astonishing $1,720,000, a record figure for any coin in the later years of the program. This sale proved once again that even modern coins, if tied to extreme rarity and verified mint errors, can rival classic 18th and 19th century pieces in value. The Idaho quarter captures a moment in both natural and numismatic history. The peregrine falcon is a symbol of environmental recovery, while the coin itself represents a rare glimpse into the mint's internal experiments. For those who collect with an eye toward history, this combination makes it irresistible. The 2007 Idaho State Quarter underscores an important point. Don't assume newer coins can't be valuable. Many collectors focus solely on early series or older silver coinage, but as this example shows, a dramatic mint error in a modern coin can command seven figures if the rarity and provenance are clear. Collectors should pay attention to unusual toning patterns or patches that seem out of place. If such features are consistent and can be authenticated as mint origin, they may represent a major find. Professional grading services and metallurgical testing are essential steps to verify such anomalies. Most of the known Idaho error quarters are locked away in private collections. Owning one isn't just about money, it's about holding a tangible piece of mint experimentation. It's a coin that bridges the public, the mint, and the natural world depicted on its surface. For many collectors, the Idaho quarter also holds aesthetic appeal. The contrast of the dark shading against the bright surfaces enhances its visual impact, turning an already dramatic design into a conversation piece. Today, the 2007 Idaho State Quarter with the little black shade anomaly stands as one of the crown jewels of the later State Quarters issues. Its combination of a bold wildlife design, late program scarcity, experimental planchet origin, and record auction price elevates it to legendary status among modern U.S. coins. Like the falcon it depicts, this coin soars above the ordinary, reminding collectors that even in the final years of a massive mint program, hidden treasures can still escape into circulation. For those lucky enough to own one, it's not just a coin, it's a story, an experiment, and a piece of American history all rolled into one. We now travel back to the early years of the State Quarters program to a coin that combines one of the most historically rich designs with a dramatic minting anomaly. The 2000 Virginia State Quarter struck at the Denver Mint. This dirty and bad error coin shows how even a modern quarter can become a seven-figure collectible. Virginia's State Quarter was the 10th release in the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program. Issued in 2000, it commemorated the 400th anniversary of the founding of Jamestown, the first permanent English settlement in America, established in 1607. This theme instantly resonated with collectors and history enthusiasts alike, placing the Virginia Quarter among the most anticipated releases of the series. The reverse. Design, created by artist Edgar Z. Stever Threfort, depicts the three ships, Susan Constant, Godspeed, and Discovery, sailing across the Atlantic toward the New World. Every detail, the masts, sails, and waves, is finely engraved, capturing both movement and purpose. Inscriptions include Virginia, 1788, the year Virginia ratified the Constitution, Jamestown, 1607-2007, and 2000, the year of issue. The obverse side retains the classic portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, adapted for the series. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of these quarters for circulation, but only a microscopic fraction emerged with the now famous error. The extraordinary example carries a Denver Mint mark, D. On the surface, it looks worn, unevenly toned, and even dirty. But this appearance is not the result of environmental damage after circulation. Instead, it reflects flaws in the plancher, the metal blank, before the coin was struck. This Virginia quarter exhibits a combination of two minting anomalies. A misaligned die strike, leaving slight distortions in parts of the design. A defective plancher containing microscopic cracks and uneven metal texture. These imperfections were baked in at the moment of minting, creating a coin that looked weathered even before it entered circulation. Authentication experts have confirmed that the irregular texture and muted color are mint origin features rather than post-mint corrosion or dirt. This distinction is critical. Post-mint damage dramatically lowers a coin's value, while genuine mint errors can multiply it. Minting defects of this type are extraordinarily rare in modern U.S. coinage because quality control is so stringent. By 2000, the Mint had already refined its production processes, making such anomalies even less likely. For collectors, that rarity combined with Virginia's strong historical theme creates an irresistible draw. The dirty and bad surface also tells a story. This coin almost certainly passed through countless hands in everyday transactions before a keen-eyed collector spotted its subtle die misalignment and unusual texture. Its long journey enhances its mystique. When this Virginia state quarter error reached a major auction house, expectations were high, and the coin did not disappoint. Bidders from across the country, including several institutional buyers, drove the price up in a fierce contest until it hammered at an extraordinary $1,760,000. This result reinforced the idea that documented mint errors in popular modern series can command prices once reserved for classic rarities. Beyond its minting anomaly, the Virginia state quarter carries deep symbolic weight. The depiction of the three ships recalls the bravery of the early settlers and the beginning of English America. For many collectors, owning a coin that links directly to this chapter of U.S. history is a chance to hold a piece of the national narrative. This Virginia quarter demonstrates that condition and appearance aren't always what they seem. A coin may look dirty, worn, or damaged, but actually be a rare minting error. Collectors should therefore pay attention to unusual textures, die shifts, or plancher flaws. Professional authentication and grading are essential to distinguish a genuine mint error from ordinary post-mint wear. It also shows how state quarter enthusiasts can branch into error collecting. While many hobbyists focus on building complete 50-state sets, rare error coins form a category of their own, attracting both mainstream collectors and high-end specialists. With fewer than 24 examples believed to exist, most of the dirty and bad Virginia quarters are tightly held in private collections. Acquiring one is not just a financial investment, but also a symbolic achievement, a link between early American history and modern minting technology. Collectors also appreciate the artistic merit of the Virginia quarter. The sailing ships and historical inscriptions give it a timeless quality that pairs perfectly with the dramatic story of its minting error. Today, the 2000 Virginia state quarter, with its defective plancher and misaligned die, stands as one of the most valuable coins in the entire 50 state quarters program. Its combination of historic theme, experimental flaw, and record auction price elevates it to a trophy piece that few will ever see in person. It's a reminder that even in a modern era of mass production, accidents can still produce treasures. For collectors, it underscores the importance of examining even the most common-looking coins closely. Somewhere in pocket change or old coin jars, there might be another rare state quarter waiting to be discovered. Though the odds are slim, the thrill of the hunt endures. Like the ships it portrays, this Virginia quarter represents a journey. From a defective blank at the Denver Mint to decades of circulation to a record-breaking auction. It's not just a coin, It's a voyage through history, rarity, and chance. Our final stop in this five-coin journey takes us to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, where the first powered flight took place and where one of the most visually striking state quarters was born. The 2001 North Carolina State Quarter, minted in Philadelphia and marked by a deep rusty and dark red tone, has become a legend in modern numismatics. The North Carolina State Quarter was the 11th release in the 50 State Quarters program and debuted in 2001. It commemorates the Wright brothers' historic first flight at Kitty Hawk in 1903, an event that transformed the world and gave North Carolina its famous motto, "First in Flight." This theme resonated with both aviation enthusiasts and coin collectors, making the North Carolina issue one of the program's highlights. The reverse, designed by T. James Farrell, captures the moment of liftoff. The Wright Flyer soars just above the dunes at Kitty Hawk with the words "First Flight" prominently displayed. Inscriptions also include North Carolina, 1789, the year the state ratified the Constitution, and 2001, year of issue. The obverse continues the familiar profile of George Washington by John Flanagan, used throughout the series with minor modifications. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of these quarters, but only a vanishingly small number emerged with the now famous rusty and dark red tone. The extraordinary example carries a Philadelphia Mint mark, P. Rather than the bright luster of a freshly minted coin, it displays a unique reddish-brown patina with darker streaks. To the untrained eye, this might appear to be corrosion or post-mint damage. But specialists recognized it as something far more significant, a naturally formed toning pattern from a mint-related anomaly. This North Carolina quarter's dramatic coloration likely resulted from a rare interaction between the coin's metal surface A and environmental factors during long-term storage soon after striking. A slightly altered alloy composition or surface preparation at the mint left the coin unusually reactive to oxygen and moisture. Over time, it developed the deep red and rusty shades now considered diagnostic for this error. Crucially, authentication experts have confirmed that the toning occurred naturally on a mint-produced planchet, not due to artificial treatment or environmental damage after circulation. This distinction elevates the coin from an interesting oddity to a seven-figure rarity. Collectors are fascinated by coins that tell a visual story. The rusty and dark red shading on this North Carolina quarter creates a dramatic backdrop for the Wright Flyer, almost as if the coin itself is depicting a sunrise at Kitty Hawk. That aesthetic element adds to its desirability. Furthermore, North Carolina's subject matter, the birth of powered flight, carries immense cultural weight. Combining that with a dramatic mint origin anomaly makes this coin irresistible to both state quarter enthusiasts and high-end error specialists. When one of these North Carolina error quarters appeared at a high-profile auction, it generated immediate buzz. Bidders recognized its rarity and historical appeal, driving the price beyond expectations until it hammered at $1,250,000. This sale underscored the premium collector's place on distinctive, authenticated features that differentiate a coin from the mass-produced majority. This coin is a perfect metaphor for innovation. Just as the Wright brothers' flight launched a new era of transportation, the State Quarters program launched a new era of public engagement with coin collecting. This particular coin, with its rare coloration, represents how even a modern circulating piece can become an artifact of numismatic history. The 2001 North Carolina State Quarter teaches an essential lesson. Toning and discoloration aren't always bad news. While many collectors dismiss toned coins as damaged, authentic natural toning, especially if linked to a mint anomaly, can dramatically increase a coin's value. If you find a state quarter with unusual coloring or surface texture, it's worth having it evaluated by a professional grading service. Detailed metallurgical testing can distinguish between environmental damage and mint origin differences. The potential payoff, as this coin proves, can be extraordinary. Most of the known North Carolina error quarters are tightly held in private collections. For those lucky enough to acquire one, it's more than just a coin. It's a bridge between American ingenuity and modern minting history. The coin combines aviation heritage, artistic merit, and a one-of-a-kind patina into a single compelling narrative. Collectors also note the appeal of Philadelphia mint errors. Because Philadelphia produces such high volumes, quality control is rigorous, making verified anomalies from this mint especially prized. Today, the 2001 North Carolina stay, the quarter with its rusty and dark red tone, stands as one of the most captivating and valuable pieces in the entire 50-state quarters program. Its combination of iconic subject matter, verified mint origin toning, and record auction price has cemented its reputation as a modern numismatic legend. This coin also closes our journey through 5 extraordinary state quarters, each transformed by rarity, history, and a touch of chance. Like the Wright Flyer itself, these coins show that bold experiments, whether in aviation or minting, can change the landscape forever. For collectors, the North Carolina quarter is a beacon, reminding us to look closely at the change in our pockets. Even in a world of mass production, singular treasures can emerge, waiting for someone with knowledge and curiosity to uncover them. We've now journeyed through 5 extraordinary state quarters: Georgia, Delaware, Idaho, Virginia, and North Carolina, each transformed from everyday pocket change into a million-dollar collectible. Together, these coins show how history, artistry, and chance can collide to create numismatic legends. The 50 State Quarters program was more than a commemorative effort. It was a cultural phenomenon. Between 1999 and 2008, it revitalized coin collecting in the United States, brought millions of new hobbyists into the fold, and reminded the public that even small objects can carry big stories. Within this massive production run, a handful of accidents and experiments slipped through. Experimental planchets, misaligned dies, and unusual toning. These mistakes became the program's crown jewels. If there's one lesson to take from these 5 coins, it's this: condition isn't everything, but rarity is. A coin doesn't have to be pristine to be valuable. In fact, the marks of circulation can make a piece even more compelling if they're paired with a documented mint anomaly. Every scratch, toning patch, or die shift is part of a journey that can dramatically raise a coin's story and price. For collectors, this means staying curious. Examine your change closely. Look for odd colors, doubled lettering, or anything that seems off. If you think you found something special, have it authenticated by a reputable grading service. The odds of finding another 7-figure state quarter are slim, but not zero. And as these examples prove, lightning can strike. These coins also highlight the power of narrative. Each one ties together a state's heritage, a mint's technical history, and a collector's discovery moment. Whether it's Georgia's Peach and Live Oak Sprigs, Delaware's Midnight Ride, Idaho's Falcon, Virginia's Jamestown Ships, or North Carolina's Wright Flyer, each design speaks to a chapter of American history. The minting errors elevate those chapters into unforgettable stories. If you've enjoyed this look at rare state quarters, consider subscribing to our channel, leaving a comment, and sharing this video with fellow collectors. Your next coin jar might hold the story we feature in our next episode. Until then, keep looking, keep learning, and remember, sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone with knowledge and curiosity to uncover them. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.